All right, hello. Today we're going to do Module 3, Lesson 16. We're going to reason about and explain arithmetic patterns using 0 and 1 as they relate to multiplication and division. Okay. All right, the very first thing I want you to do is draw me 4 circles. Okay, then I want you to draw 4 dots in them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4 in each one. Please write this as a multiplication sentence. What do I have? I have 4 groups of 4. And what would that be? 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, now let's erase 2 of them. Or just put an X on them, that's okay. Now what do you have? Just go ahead and just put X's. Let me find my... Now what do you have? Now you have 2 groups of 4, and what does that equal? 8. Okay, now put an X on this one. And now what do you have? You have only one group of 4, and that equals 4. What if you change it, you add another dot? What do you have? You have one group of 5. And what does that equal? 5. What if you put 1,000 dots in there? Or you have one group times 1,000 dots. What would it equal? It would equal 1,000 dots. So let's write this as a rule or a statement. 1 times any number, it doesn't matter, you can choose 100 billion and 1, and it would fit, would equal, if you had 100 billion and 1 dots in here, it would equal 100 billion and 1, right? So 1 times any number equals that number. All right, now when we have multiplication, draw a line under what you just drew, and let's make another. When you have multiplication, so you have 1 times any number equals that number, you can use the commutative property. What's the commutative property? It means that you can flip-flop. So this means any number times 1 should equal that number. Well, let's see. So let's do 5 circles. And let's put 1 dot in each one. So 5 groups of 1 equals what? 5. Does it work? It sure does. Okay, you put an X on 2. I'm going to erase 2. Alright, now what do we have? We have 3 groups with only 1 in them equals 1. What if I erase all but 1? So you put X on yours, I'll just erase mine. 1 group of 1 equals 1. Oh, so it does. Any number. What if I had 100 billion and 1? This is how you write 100 billion 1. Let's do it. 100. The millions. These are the thousands, and these are the hundreds. 100 billion and 1 times 1. What would that equal? Well, it would equal 100 millions, thousands, and 1. It would. Absolutely. Okay, now draw another line. This time let's talk about some division. So if we have 1 times any number, it's going to equal that number. Now, this means that 1 with a group of 4 in it is going to equal 4. Let's make this into division sentence using this exact same picture. So if I have 4 and I divided it into one group, what do I have? I still have 4. If I had put 5 dots and I only divided them into one group, I have 5. So let's change the rule now for a division statement. Any number divided by 1 would give me that number. I had 1,000, and I divide it. If I have 1,000 dots in here, I put them all in one group, I would still only have 1,000 dots, right? Okay. Now, let's examine the other picture that we had. So we had, let's see. Okay, I had 5 groups of 1, and that'll equal 5 dots. Well, let's change that. If I have 5 and I divide it into 5 groups, how much are in each group? 1. If I have 7 groups and I have 1 in each group, then how many? No. If I have 7 dots, I divide them into 7 groups. How many do I have? I have 1 in each group. Okay? So this means that any number divided by itself would still equal only 1. Okay, that means there's only 1 in each group. So if I have 7, or let's say I have 200,000 cookies, and I divide them by 200,000 people, how many cookies would each person get? They would only each get 1 cookie apiece, right? Okay. Now, let's do some zeros. So, if I have 4 cookies and if I have 4 plates and I don't put any cookies on them, how many cookies do I have on the plates? So if I have 4 groups of 0, how many do I have? So draw your plates, put your cookies on there. I have 4 plates and no cookies. How many cookies do I have? I don't have any cookies. Oh, okay, well let's change it then. Let's change it to, what if we have, tell me some more plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates. And I have no cookies, so I don't put any on the plate. How many cookies do I have? 0, right? All right, now, let's see, now I want you to do something else. What if, that means if okay, so 5 plates, and I have no cookies on the plate, I have 0. So this means any number times 0 equals 0, okay? Now, if it's, now let's put this as a division statement. So if I have 0 cookies, and I divide them into 5 groups, how many cookies do I have? 0, right? So if you have 0 cookies, it doesn't matter how many groups you divide into, 100 billion thousand, or whatever you want to say. Would that work? Nope, you still only have 0 cookies. Okay, but commutative property says that we can change it, right? Commutative property says that anything times 0 equal, or we can flip-flop them. So that would be 0 times any number gives me 0. Okay, so let's draw this. Actually, you know, I'm just going to clear it and start fresh. So any number, or 0 times any number is going to equal 0. Well, let's see. If I have, this is 0 groups of something. So I don't have any groups of 6. Would I have anything? I can't even draw you a picture because I have 0. I don't have any groups of anything. I had nothing in my hand. So that's still true, isn't it? And 0 times anything is 0. So if I wanted to write this as a division statement, then what if we said we had 7 cookies and we divided them by 0 groups? Would that equal n? Would that equal 7? What would that equal? What would that equal? Well, if I have 7 cookies, can I divide them into 0 groups? Well, let me draw my picture. 3, 5, 6, here's all my cookies. Can I divide them into 0 groups? No, because guess what? I already have 1 group. Just because I have them, I have 1 group. It doesn't matter if I don't give them away, then I have only 1 group. So this absolutely does not work. Doesn't work. In fact, if you were to put 7 divided by 0 into a calculator, this is what it says. It says this. In fact, if you can, I would like you to try it. Do 7 divided by 0 and see what you get. It says error because it's absolutely impossible. You can't do it. All right? So it only works for anything divided by that number of groups equals 0. It can't work the other way around. It can't be n divided by 0 equals 0, because if you have something to divide, you have a group. Not immediately put you to the ones. Can't have nothing if you already have something. Okay? All right. Good luck with your work. See you tomorrow.